What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, online at www.whatsupinthe.sky.com. And you were looking at a Saw Curiosity Rover. Saw 821 has been a jewel for us here, anomaly hunters, whatever you guys want to call us. This one caught my eye. Angie Davis found this. She's a researcher on Facebook. She has a YouTube account, and she doesn't have many subscribers on there because she really focuses on Facebook. So let's go get her some subscribers. I'm going to put her down in a link, so you guys go check that out. She called a vacuum cleaner head, and that, I mean, it's just symmetrical, cool shape, whatever the thing is. It looks like a piece of Uncle Jake's junkyard. It just came down the hill with all the blocks and all the stuff, the the interesting things we're going to find out along the way here. Now, the platform here that you can see, it looks like an old platform. It looks like stairs in the front. It looks like something you'd find outside my deck right here. You can see the lines as they come across. Um, Now, let's see. Let me show you what I've actually done here, because I've actually put two together on this one. Because this, oop, sorry guys, let me do that. All right. So I've got two saws together. Now I just made my first Gigapan thing, and I'll put that Gigapan link down in the bottom. Um, which basically I took all the pictures from this date, which were ridiculous how many were there and how cool they were. Like these all right here are the ones I took. So I'm going to put a link to this page, or to the two pictures I used from this one. They're down here. Let's see. They're the ones that had just a little bit of the. Here's one, and here's the other one right here that I used for it. So these two, and this straight one here on the one is on the right. So this is the one I start off on the right. There's, like I said, there's a lot of cool things in here that just are, it, whatever came rushing through here, the mud and everything, it just really played some havoc and had some fun on Mars. Here I add some little doodles over here. Let's go take a look at this thing. I've added some different coloring. Now how I've gotten this right here, I'm going to show you. Let me show you how. This is how it came from NASA. You got that nasty brown like always. What I've done was I've done the color. I basically um, set it to match the color to one of the Molly pictures that we have, and then just basically going from there and tweak some things up. And this is what I think it looks like with the colors. Now I don't add all this color. This color actually comes from the Rover, and I'll show you like when you get a real. Like here, I'll show you right here. I think it's part of the obfuscation that they use when they do this, because the color actually throws your eyes off. See how it's pink there and blue there? I believe that's being done somewhere in the editing. It's done on all of the pictures. I tell you, it's hard to not miss it now. But it really does throw your eyes off, because I'm going to show you a little bit later. One of the formations on the other picture really does a number when you're looking at it. But as you can see, this stuff is here before I do anything to it. All I'm really doing by adding this is basically, see, I even lose a little of the brightness there. See how down here I lose some of the stuff. But I'm just trying to bring the edges out just so you can see it. And the color that comes out is the NASA color that's in there. So whether that's the color sitting there on the surface or not, I'm not sure, because I think it's been added, a lot of it, just to kind of throw our eyeballs off. Now, look at let's look at a lot of this here. A lot of people are going to say, well, this is just normal strata. To me, it's just, a lot of it just has too much symmetry through it. It looks like what we'd expect to be at the bottom of the hill. Uncle Jake's junkyard, is my buddy Terry from Paris would say. All sorts of stuff all over, just interesting little shapes. Let me flip it over to black and white, take away the color aspect of what we're looking at here. Look at these anomalies. They look like perfectly shaped. Uh, they even have like a decoration in them, and these two look almost the same. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then they stop. And even on the end, they both turn off here. Now, nature is awesome. Nature makes amazing things, but that to make copies of something like that would be amazing. This here looks like it's got something that goes under. Look at that. It looks to be, let me flip back over to the color, see what we come up with here. Just looks like a piece of something. And there's so much on here that I just keep moving on. I can spend all day on some of these things. This looks too cool too. Look at this. See all the what seems to be carved into that rock. And I don't think no, we're never going to get exactly what we should from NASA. Like these pictures come down in 1024 by 1024. So I mean, that's the best we're ever going to get, and then that's pretty sad, because we know that the cameras on there can definitely do better resolution than that. And with Maven now, there's no excuse why, well, they don't have they have a deep space network that can transfer that stuff back here in no time at all. Um, so we're not being fooled. There's a lot of us that are doing this now, and they're seeing things are not adding up everywhere. So nice 90-degree curved angles through here. Interesting shapes in the rocks. Um, just kind of cruising through. Let me back up just a little bit as we come through here and take a look at some of this. See how here kind of looks, I thought this kind of looked like it was kind of domed up just a tad. And when I say that, just kind of like it didn't look as much like rock as some of the other things here. And when you get some of these, check this out. See how they seem to be shaped? That one's got a pretty cool shape to it there, and it's got our favorite S in it. A little eyeball looking shape up the top. I said, I see what I see, you see what you see. A lot of this stuff is just speculative. Not much science going here on my channel. I've had to do a couple debunking videos just because when something's totally blatantly fake or false, I like to make sure that everybody knows that. So I will stick to this. This is one of the abstract things. You're either going to see it or you're not, or you're going to see it a little bit different. That's when I love the comments. Below, if you see something different, tell me what you see because let's compare notes. We got a lot of good people here on our channel, and they leave a lot of good comments. So I know we'll get some good comments on this one. This whole soul is amazing. I'm probably gonna have to do a couple videos from this one. Like I said, check the Gigapan shot thing I made out too. That's the first one I ever did. It's a pretty neat website. Anybody can really do it. All I did was download the pictures and upload them. But check this out here. See the you want to know if it's like artifacts in the back. But you see the colors, how they're kind of in there. They just kind of throw everything off. Um, the flow as it would come down through. This almost looks to be chipped out. That was from water that did that, or what was the force of nature that did that? Did something fall from there? And this is pretty cool. I can see that attached. Like I said, in our eyes, I can see that just attached to some vacuum somewhere. Keep it black and white for a second as we cruise through here. Sometimes I think when you get the color out of it, it doesn't distract us as much because that's what it's designed. I know that's why it's put in there like that because it does. It jumbles stuff up. Now it makes it neater, and of course it's nicer to see it with the color. But some people have to say they like the black and white better. So all right. And notice how a lot of the stuff looked to be blocks that could have been at one time. They show patterns to them. Here, this one up here kind of curves up and over, and so does that one right there. And this seems to have a chain link pattern to it, how it looks. That's it. I'm going out there. I'm not, people are like, oh, he's going out there on a limb. No, I'm not really going out there on a limb. This stuff is definitely interesting. It's definitely sitting out there looking at it like this. Let me flip it back over because this is some really cool stuff here. All right, come on, guys. Back on over. Let me get you back into color. Check this out right here before I flip over to the other one. I thought this rock was interesting because this looks like as it went into the mud or whatever this is here, it has this cutout into it. And over here has a little bit of it too, and it just kind of steps down. Just thought that was odd. So it just grabbed my eye, and even it's there in the black and white too, so it's not something that's getting deeper because of the illusion of it or something like that. These were pretty neat here. Let me see if I can go show you back all the way down because I lost a lot of when I did what I did when I combined them, I edited them as the same picture too, so I lost some of the blistering coolness of this part right here. So look at that. See how they come down together? Just I thought this was interesting. See how it just comes up a little perfect, and up here there's another little layer of it. It's almost like slag that just melted down on it and just kept on going. Oh, turning it around here. Oops, come on guys. Alright. So let me back on up here. Alright, let me get it back to my other thing. Okay. Here we go. Is everybody getting sick? Ooh. Alright, sorry. That's just me being a little geeky here today. But there we go. These are the other cool. Look at these things up here. This was neat. They look like, you see these things on front yards in Halloween and stuff. They look like little Martian man and like a little kid or something, going through Halloween or something. They're like little cardboard cutouts or wood cutouts we have. We have them in America, I swear. Little cutouts of like, everything. There's a Family Guy joke about it. The guy selling cutouts. The wacky waving inflatable flailing tube man guy was selling them. But cardboard cutouts or wooden cutouts. But just more and more, just very interesting stuff. It looks to just be tossed up, thrown around. What do you guys think happened up here? Um, do you think we're? I know if you're on my channel and you're watching this, most of you probably already think that the this stuff we're looking at is a civilization that was left behind or pretty much died off. Some of us think that it's still there. Um, what's neat about this area right here is that we are at near the base of the mountain. If we are where they're telling us, there's a lot more to see and there's a lot more to come. Um, I wish we just could see it the crystal clear pictures. I know that this that are coming down. There's got to be stuff better than this, and if it's not, I just can't believe that the tech we sent on this rover for $2 billion, it can only produce this, which I know can produce better because it produced stuff much better as it first got there. Now there could be some sand on it, some dust in it, and that causes some of this. But for both mass cams to be having these same issues, and for all the obfuscation, like I said, a lot of this stuff looks to be fake sand in it. And now when I say fake, I just mean it's added and pushed on a little bit more, maybe to cover up some of the anomalies. Um, a lot of the stuff I think is done, like I said, on the rover itself or on the downlink. The blinds marks. The blinds marks are just telltale giveaway to me that it's only used sometimes, and it's used where there's usually stuff that it wants to chop up. And right where they're using them, they always use a bunch of color things too. Like right here. You see they're all right down in here. See whatever this is, they're trying to chop up so you don't see it. And when you use the black and white, yeah, you kind of see that come in a little bit more. You can see some of the strange shapes that look in 3D there, but if you take it out, um, you don't notice it as much. Look when you back on out, the normal viewer of this picture who would just come to the website every blue moon and just say, "Oh wow, look, a new rover picture came down," would not zoom in that far or ever notice that. If it wasn't for people like Angie and people like there's like everybody that's on what's up in the sky.com and come and post their things. If it wasn't people like us going there and finding this stuff, this never would have been, you know what I mean? This stuff would have, they could have done whatever they want here. They could be putting pictures up from Arizona, which I still think they could be doing. Okay, here's a piece of facade of something. Check that out. I found this one. I forgot about this. Is what I knew I missed some stuff over here. This stuff here looks to be like old concrete pieces that were belong together. Like I said, this just looks like the bottom of something. Um, over houses here, walkways. Look at this how it runs across perfectly here. They just follow each other. And what's neat is where it breaks here, it breaks and it's almost like there's a path. I'm thinking that the Martians were a little bit smaller than we were. And maybe even a lot smaller than we were. Check this out. Maybe to where Godzilla, the rover looks like Godzilla to him. But see how that perfectly comes that way? And then there's a cut in it. And it follows the perfect cut that way. Just too cool. And I wish we had a better view. Look at this here. This all up through here, you see the blur tool in it. It just happens to be unblurred right where the interesting stuff is. Here, look, right in the middle of there, there's a blur mark. Right in the middle of there, there's a blur mark. It starts to drive you crazy after a while. It's like, gosh, why even give us a little taste of it? I guess it's just what they rubbing it in our face that, somebody's just like, well, why did they even put anything there at all? I don't know. I always want to see if that burn tool could work off that right there. Yeah. I'm not going to use it this far in, so. Alright. Show you that here in the black and white. See here, here's where the blur is. There's a little blur mark, but look at that, it's interesting. See, this is blocked off, more blocks, another block. Up here, this block is rounded off. This down here is kind of rounded off. Actually, it's kind of same angle right here. Almost like a same piece type. Look at that. I wonder if you can bring it up there and stick it in. Like if you could bring that up, spin it around, and just kind of push it in there. It could be part of right here. What's missing? It looks ornate, especially over here where you've got this piece that runs here. It's got the top piece that runs. It follows here. Here it keeps as it follows along here. It looks like it keeps the same exact length there too from the piece. Comes down here and that follows it around. That just says ornate to me. Somebody worked hard to make that, I imagine, for it just to be destroyed, tossed down the hill like it was. Let's see. Oh, here's my little pancake maker thing over here. Check this thing out. Just rounded off. It looks like a little guitar or something like that. Who knows what that is? Like I said, it could be rocks. I see what I see. You see what you see. Here, there seems to be like a little boomerang type piece. All over here, you've got the color obfuscation. Here it seemed to be a cube of some sort, and there's nothing perfect about that, but it's interesting how, like I said, a lot of this stuff you don't know, but you know, look at the here, look here, check this out. See this piece right here? It seems to come to a nice little here, and it seems to keep the same distance as it goes up it. And just like our piece over here, I love that piece of facade or whatever that is. It definitely looks like it's especially since it's got the cut in it and the groove in it that stays with it. It's interesting how a lot of this stuff has grooves and seams, and it seems to be cut. Here, look up here. This one's rounded off. It goes up that way. Tell me that doesn't look like it's been worked over some. It almost looks like one piece. It almost looks like basically that belonged upright. Like this piece right here would come up some and be upright somewhere. Then you got your interesting old piece over here. All sorts of good stuff, my friends. All sorts of good stuff. On Mars, when will we get there? I think it's time to send some people up there and start taking some risks. I know Mars One wants to do it. To send people on a one-way trip, and let's just face it, guys, it's gonna have to be a one-way trip probably, unless we get unless there really is a secret space program that we don't know about, Solar Ward, which I've heard much about. Now, okay, now check this out. Look at how scraped up this stuff is here. And I don't have the other picture, but it goes on a little bit more into the next frame. Um, but tell me that is not weird. And it looks how it stops right here. It's almost just like a scraping piece. It's like something scraped it. The rover's been nowhere near it. This isn't like laser shots. It's not, it's just a scraping. Um, Anybody have any idea about that? I've gone a little bit further than I usually do in my videos lately, but if you have any idea about any of that right there, please let me know below. So, all right, guys, let me leave you with one of my favorites. Let's see, let's go back here. Look at this, more and more. I could sit on this one all day probably, or all night. Like I said, where are we at midnight? Let's see, how far in are we? How far are we actually in on this? 17 minutes. This is the longest one I've done in a while. I've been trying to keep it a little bit shorter so people can share them, but I know a lot of you, some guys like the longer videos. Because I get emails from you saying, I missed the long videos. It's an interesting shapes just coming out. And this one just seems to be a little bit brighter over here. Maybe done a little bit nicer. Let's see. I noticed this too. See how this comes up and it goes out? It's almost like another piece of petrified something, but over here it's got where it's cut off. It's like it's got some interesting writing on it or something like that. And it's probably just from what's the glistening somehow in the sun of what was there, but just cool. So you see these down here kind of rounded off, and this is kind of rounded off too. Here you got this up here rounded off like that, and down here, I think this down here close to the rover, and you don't really get, it's kind of out of focus, for as close as it is. Just interesting. And this right here just seems to be kind of put in there with the same color out of nowhere. Alright, where'd you go up here? Dun, 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 dun. And we'll leave you with that again, guys. So what do you think? Where's my, well actually no, let me say one more time. That I don't think this is all just too much random here. It's definitely, to me, looks like a platform of some sort. It's got to be. I mean, stuff looks like it's been falling down, ripped down the hill. Who knows how long ago? Who knows how long it's been sitting there? Who knows if anything's ever been alive to touch it since then? There's a lot of people here say that we're looking at life in these pictures, and I'm not even mind to say that we're not. I see what I see. You see what you see. When you pull back, I see all sorts of at least interesting, very interesting pieces. Look at this right here. Almost looks like a piece of art in there. It looks like a little extraterrestrial. See a little head there? Alright guys, much love to you. Have a good one. Whatsupinthesky.com. Check out my website. All sorts of people are posting. Check out the website. I'm not going to call it mine anymore because we got all sorts of good people posting out there. It's time to blow this stuff up. Much love to you. Peace.